noticed is that you have to adjust the length of the sled for your body. You just can't get in and run because you don't want your knees bent too high up towards your chest. You've got to extend them so that they're long enough for you, but as well as the height so that your elbows and your palms don't drag on the ice.
Yeah, correct. Every person has a different balance area. Of course, every person has a different disability or ability. Heights depend on the lengths of arms. Lengths of sled can be, if you're 5'6" or 4' body, you're not going to sit in the same size sled. So the minimum size for a sled is 30 centimeters, and maximum size I think is 60, but I'm not correct on that. Ladies and guys, if they have legs, they don't want to have them bunched up. You want your knees to be in a comfortable position. So balancing the sled is where your blades come into effect. You move your blades forward or backwards depending on how much you're weighted at the front of the sled.
Well, it should be an interesting matchup, 3-game series, as we made mention earlier on, coming to you from Richmond Olympic Oval in lovely Richmond, British Columbia. Had a chance to come down and used to work with the Greater Vancouver Canadians doing all their broadcasts out here. We are high above the perch, situated behind the benches. We are actually on the stand side of the arena, and the players' benches, which is a little unique unto itself, they have to be adjusted to fit the sleds.
What they've done is in most arenas now, they're creating a rear door so that it's ice accessible, so you can go straight off the ice instead of jumping a little bit of a ledge, which can really cause an accident going into the benches. Anyways, here's our puck drop.
All right, we're certain the game is officially underway. The two referees for today's game, Nicole Kelly and James Gregory, are the two officials. And from the dock goes over against the boards over on the far right side, just nearest our broadcast location. At this one is Flattery. She couldn't get control. The puck goes all the way back down. Now it's dipped in the right side corner. Chasing this one back in the corner will be Quimby. Quimby will go after this one. Of course, Quimby has played before, and she is from Tampa Bay. That's her club team. Back in Florida, we should welcome everyone to our broadcast here from the Oval. Dwayne Evans, Steve Erickson, our pleasure to bring it to you, and hope you enjoy the broadcast. So we'll go back in the corner. We'll have a face-off all set up once again.
Now, first icing of the day.
So the face-off was in the corner, won that time. And as it was won, it goes back behind the net. The captain for the Canadian team, wearing number 4. And number 4 is Christina Pickton. She's from Ontario. She gets control of the puck, tries to send it out, does try to jam it in over the right side of the post, couldn't get it through, and underneath the goaltender, and the goaltender we may mention is Robinson, but boy, what a nice try by Pickton, Dwayne.
Yes, she's quite a superstar in the ladies' league. She's also attempting to play with the men's league at times. She's a pretty good skater. She's pretty hard to knock down when she gets hit.
Well, upper body strength is so imperative at this level of the game. Come inside.
Yeah, this whole game is based on core strength.
So from the draw, it goes over on the far side. They're trying to go after it and chase it. They eventually did and got it. Eberhard had it and threw it out to the neutral ice area. She still has it, throws it forward, goes inside the zone over in the right side corner this time. And chasing this one back around will be player number 14. For Team Canada. We're just looking right now. Tiziano is the one.
Plays up.
Back in the zone again. Over in the left corner. They chase it back behind the net and the line. And Kilpatrick was the first one to the puck. Centering back out in front. Right on goal. Quick stop once again. And Robinson had to be alert to stop that one from coming out behind the net in front. Now, period time, Dwayne. Let everyone know what plays period time. A little different. We don't play 20-minute period.
No, in sled we play 15-minute stop time periods. Three periods as every other games. Penalties will do still be a 2-minute penalty.
Depending on referee's discretion, as we all know.
Yes.
That can change.
Yes, that's true.
And I have to say that quite honestly, too. You and I both know that after both refereeing. Front of the draw went back in the corner in the left side this time, and chasing that one back around. Beatoncourt has it, throws it against the hash marks over on the left side, dumping it all the way back out. Buchanan's going to go after this one. All the way in Team Canada's end. Missed the net. Icing was waved off. I'm assuming they're playing behind the net.
Yes.
So they play the hybrid icing. First one in there. It was on goal. Quick stop once again. Nice stop. And the end goaltender for Canada. Who's our starting goaltender?
Gregory.
Is that Gregory? That's Gregory?
Yeah, we were playing hybrid icing, so it's a race to the face-off dot. Whoever gets there first wins.
First one wins.
Yeah, with the speed of the jury. Always very controversial.
That adds to it. So from the draw, goes back. U.S. get the puck, take a huge shot right there. Nice play. Gregory just let that one go wide. Now it's dumped over on the far side and chasing this one back down inside the U.S. zone.
This should be
it should be. Will they get icing on it? Yes, they did. They made it. I didn't know whether we were going to have icing or like curling or how we curling on that one. Hold it. Yeah,
just barely making it down there.
Hope everyone's enjoying the Calder game. 3-game series. Myself and Duran will be here for all 3 games, and it's enjoyable to watch. And if you have never seen one of these games before, I urge you, come on out and take part. This is Canada's national women's sledge hockey team taking the 3 games going against the Team U.S. And some of the U.S. players are quite enjoying their time here, they were telling me. Shot right under a big stop again by Gregory. They throw this one over in the far corner and chasing it back around, trying to get control of this time. Unable to get the shot on goal, but they managed to. They got it through traffic. Somehow they got it through traffic. Still scrambled in front of that, going after it. As they all go after it, well played. And it's dumped against boards, left side boards that time. They had control of it and got it. Hill was the one that threw it all the way back in the corner. Now it goes out to the blue line. Canada gets control of it. Canada throws this one straight forward. Back up the mid part to Rebecca Sharp. Rebecca Sharp had control of it. Had it a short while. And now they come back over on the far side. Tripped up in the corner, in the far side corner that time. They grabbed it again. Well played. Erica Mitchell had it. Goes on goal, holding on it. We're going to stop it to play, and everybody just comes in. Of course, the one coming in to protect the goaltender. Easily played right there and held on to that one. That was Wenji that come in and sort of a little bit to the right side protecting the goalie. So you pleased with the level of play we're seeing right now?
Not at this level. Again, I played for a provincial team for BC for a couple of years.
Genji goes in the corner. She's going to go after this one. Over in the right side corner this time, waiting for the loose puck. Unable to grab it. Wide open, but Canada once again get control of it. They dump it out to the neutral ice area, and the first one chasing this one back around. Their captain for the squad. Now it's inside the corner, far side, cutting back to the middle. Well played that time as they're going inside. Chasing it back around. Picton is in there. Picton continues to go in. Boy, she is all over the ice today. Boy, she's a real speedster, as you made mention there. Was thrown in front of that, deflected. Throwing it back in the corner on the far side. Quimby was the one that had it again. She threw it wide. Now it's out in front, chasing it back in front, trying to grab this one.
And he scored.
They score! Canada gets the first one on the board. At 4:04 into period number 1. Canada scores and takes an early lead in the game. So what a start for Canada, but it's very impressive the way the teams are playing. So a line change.
Line change here. Picton, I believe Picton's in on the goal.
Yeah, I believe they're going to credit that goal to Picton.
I believe so. No, it's not going to be Picton.
We will wait for the official announcement, then we'll know. I guess that's the best way to say it. So from the draw, it goes over. Far side, coming inside after this will be. Looking, Buterlin was the one that had control a second. Now they wait once more. Far side boards, they're all pushing after this one, trying to kick it loose. Unable to that time, but they worked at it. Laddle had it. Now it goes back out. U.S. keeping it inside the blue line, but unable to on the last split second. It goes back out again. Eberhard had it. She throws it inside. Canada turns inside their own zone. Ma looks. Ma gets control, throws it back down across the line. And we have an icing call to play once again as Ma turns and circles. And, of course, we're talking about Alana Ma. She comes from Edmonton, Alberta area. Girls travel from all over. And I looked at the roster, and we've got players coming in from Saskatoon, Ontario, Quebec, Manitoba, Alberta. I don't see any BC players on that team.
I don't believe we have any. Peggy is not here today. She's back home with her father in Ontario. I'm sure she's missing this.
She's probably watching it and saying, Dwayne, what are you doing? You're talking mean about me over there. So from the draw, they go back behind the net once again. As they go back behind the line, well played that time.
Christina Picton, assist by number 11, Miriam Adams.
So you can see that. Did they credit the goal number 4?
Yes, they did. They credited
4 from 11. So Picton is credited with that goal for Canada. 11 is Adams. Miriam Adams from Chicoutimi, Quebec. She gets the helper on that play, and the puck goes all the way over, this time over in the right side corner. This will be grabbed and picked up easily by Flaherty. Flaherty had it, looks, waits. She still turns and goes after it. A couple players collide. One of the sleds turns over, but the referee still says play right on. They upright the sled and throw it back forward once again, and Gore has control. Looks, waits. Wenji, she had it. Went across the line. The U.S. turn. They go back up ice and then come across the line over on the far right side. Flaherty had control. She just dumped it in. Now it goes back behind the net one more time. And as it goes back behind the net once again, they're all chasing after it. Bit of a scrum ensuing in the corner on the far side over there, Dwayne.
Yes, this will happen every once in a while. You get a puck that seems to be in a dead zone. Players will all congregate. Somebody will hit somebody and puck will come loose.
It's tough to circle and get it out of the way when you've got all the sleds together like that.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit more uncomfortable.
It does, right on goal. Big save again. A couple players collided after that. Basically, don't come towards our goaltender.
Yeah, it's no different than any other game. Push him away, keep him out.
Well, it's an easy thing to do.
No. You got the full line change here.
Full change. There's no real limit on the time for line changes.
It's still the same, and they put their hands up and they tell you can't come out. They give you the same kind of time as regular hockey.
And regular hockey doesn't at times sometimes doesn't seem to be enough for players to make the change. And that's either because of late players or slow players.
And yet they're in and out the doors quicker.
Yeah, very much. So it goes over in the right side corner. Canada looking at it, trying to get it out. That Sharp had control, and Sharp continues to go straight down the ice inside the line this time.
This is Sharp's first year with the team.
Betancourt, she threw it back up. Betancourt's from San Diego in California. Comes in, she threw it back in, waits right on goal. Nice grab once again, and holding on to that one. So the goaltenders have to be alert and agile, and you talk about mobility issues. They've got to be able to move from side to side, sometimes quicker than the players.
Yeah, it's a whole different setup for their blades too. They're on most goalies will be on a plastic blade. It's usually about a half inch square piece of plastic. It's on each side of their blade. And it allows them to progress across the crease easier.
A little quicker, a little more mobile, which works to their advantage. Got some school kids in taking the game out here today, and I think school is actually out. It's Pro D Day in the Lower Mainland, I believe.
Yeah, they're here for this, and there's a cheerleading contest going on at the same time.
Oh, are you going to enter the cheerleading?
I'm going to jump in there.
I figured you would. Canada come out of their own zone, wait, stop, kept on side, then it was nullified, and Picton goes after this one all over on the far side. They took Picton off of the puck, continuing to take Picton off of the puck, and they continue to press inside once again. Adams goes after it. Adams throws it in, goes back behind the line, and the first one in after the puck on the left side this time. Quimby has it. Again, turning out to go the other way and trying to get control of this one. Eberhardt, she had it, back to Picton. Picton behind the line. Now she turns and circles, has to go back a second time to get control of it, and it's thrown out to the blue line over on the far right side. Robital had control. She dumped it back in. Shot right on goal. Big stop again. Nice save right there. And I don't know if she expected to see that.
Quick shot from Picton. She's got some quick wheels out there.
Goaltender for the U.S., Rosie Robinson. She is actually from Howards Grove, Wisconsin. Doesn't have a club team listed, but it says that she's still enjoys it. Had a chance. I was talking to a lot of the players before the game, and they said they're really enjoying their time out here. One thing about defense, I'm watching the defense, Dwayne, and they really stay far apart on the faceoffs.
Yeah, it's easier for setups for deep into the zone. The play can create one end to the other end too fast to be too close together.
Very much. Now they go back, waiting for it. Canada turns over on the far side as they wait for it. Ma has it again. Ma chases it back inside, also coming after it to go back after it. Gure will have it. Looks. Blocked, throwing straight forward inside the zone again.
In the race.
And they go back behind the line as they're all pretty quick to go after the loose puck that way. And they wait, but it goes back to the blue line area. Again, as it goes back to the blue line, a little bit tough to see from your point of view. I know you're a little sitting down to the left side, Dwayne, but either way you get it. Looks a bit of a block, taking off of the puck that way, trying to turn and go back up ice the other way, waiting for it. Claudio has it. She goes over in the far left side, waiting for it. She still continues to press inside. The first one coming after this one this time will be Lalonde, and Lalonde picks it up. It's underneath the sled. She's trying to knock it loose. She was bumped off of the puck. Lalonde continues to go after the puck, but it's kept onside in the far side once again. Betancourt has it. She throws it against the hash marks and turns it back over with Ma picking the puck up in the corner behind the goal line. Ma fights for it back behind the line. DeClaudio, she has control of it. And they have it, but the U.S. managed to get a shot right on goal. Nice glove hand grab on that one. Well played, but what a quick, agile move.
Puck comes off the boards fairly quickly. Sometimes players don't get the chance to see where it's coming. When you turn it around, sometimes you turn the wrong way and you miss the puck, and all of a sudden you have a quick shot on goal. You're right, before your goalie has to be alert at all times in this.
Goalie's got to be probably the most agile player that's out there. So they will come in. The U.S. took the draw. They won the draw. They pulled it back this time to the blue line area, and Lawson had control, and Lawson just dumped it against the hash marks over on the far left side this time. Chasing it inside. Trying to get it was Hill. Hill comes after it. Waits. Hill continues to press against the corner. She fights for the loose puck. Everybody challenges after the puck. Waits. It comes all the way back out in front once again, and they'll stop and turn, and the U.S. trying to take the puck away from Canada. They did. They turned it back over the hash marks over on the far left side that time. They kept it onside. That was Atkins that managed the turnover coming in from the blue line area. Pinched in, waiting for it. Goes and dumped all the way down the ice. Coming out of the net to stop this one will be Robinson. She holds on. Her icing is waved off, and Robinson just throws it over in the left side corner. Gives it back to Lawson. Lawson comes in. She was tripped up over in the corner by Racine. Racine, good trip-up play to take the puck away from her, and now they grab it and bit of a dump shot out to the blue line area. Kept onside. Nice passing play to get it inside the blue line by Wengie. Wengie was the one that dumped it straight forward that. Shot again behind the net. Taken off of the puck. Officials watching things transpire. Haven't had no penalties in the game so far. Shots are 9-6 in favor of the U.S. over Canada. With 3:45 remaining, period number 1. Kept onside, dump in, huge shot right there. They challenge it, go back behind the line. This is Picton that has it. She turns, circles the net, takes a shot, dumped and stopped. Well played that time by Robinson, who just threw it back behind the net. It hit the blocker, went behind the net, but Picton continues to press. Out the right side, takes a shot. That was blocked again by Robinson. Picton's in front, waiting for the rebound, and she's there again. Waits unable to get it that time, and with Picton chasing it, she is all over the ice right there, and she is really a force to be reckoned with. Centering it. Back out, unable to get control, taking a huge shot. Taylor scores! Another one on the board. Picton will get the assist. And the goal should be credited, I think, to number 25.
Sharma.
That was up. That was Sharma from Brampton, Ontario. What a nice passing play to keep it, but kept it alive for a long time.
Yeah, again, Picton is all over the place. He's in and out of the boards and in and out of the corners. Makes a pass into Sharma, and Sharma can quick release over the blocker side into the net.
So we have a line change for Canada. DeClaudio will come out for the U.S. to take the face-off. So as DeClaudio lines herself up for the draw, she took the draw that time. Her counterpart on the face-off was Alana Ma, and Alana Ma stays with her. Not going to give her much to shoot at, but they fight for it, and it goes against the boards over on the other side. And as they work after it, It's still free, coming inside. There.
Number 25, Nadine
It goes
Sharp,
back inside
assisted
once
by
again.
number 4, Christina Picton.
What a great save by the goalie from Canada there, Gregory.
Huge save by Gregory on that one. She pushes to get it over on the other side of the post to make sure that that one wasn't going to get in and sneak underneath her. Racine comes inside. She was unable to get control. It was out of her reach. And Dockstader had it for the U.S. Dockstader takes it, but I believe we have
A little bit of an offside, I believe.
a little bit of an offside. James Gregory calls the offside. Kirkpatrick going off on a line change for the U.S. And, of course, both teams having a wholesale change. 5 off, 5 on for each team. You impressed with the play of the game so far, Elaine?
It's been pretty good. I mean, it's nice to see that there is a few body checks out here. It's always good. I love to see physical hockey. And that's one thing about this sport is it's all contact.
So from the drop, Eberhardt won that drop. She had control, threw it against the boards all the way up the right side this time. It was inside the zone, and the first one going after at that time was Gore. She had it, waits, right on goal. They're going to get a stoppage of play. They did. They managed another stoppage of play. You would think that Gregory was going to hold on that one because she really wanted a stoppage.
There's not a lot of players around her right now, so I'm thinking she had too many blues coming in.
Yeah, sometimes you look up, you see a sea of blue, and you're going, I better hold on it.
This is not for me.
You can't blame her for that.
That's correct.
So from the top, back out to the blue line area, kept onside. Well played that time. That was Hill that stopped it at the blue line. It's over in the corner on the far left side. Again, they continue to press inside. They're all going after it. Waits. Eberhardt had it. Takes a shot out in the outside of the post, and Gore was the one that has control of it. And as she held on to that one. Good stop again. Well played. Only about 1:51 left in the first period. In Canada, ironically, they've got the shots now. They're 8-3 in favor of Canada. Nope.
It's
Is
8-3.
No,
No,
it's 13. My eyesight is bad, see?
Well, we have a little bit of a blockage there, too.
We do. There's a big post that's blocking the 1 on the 13. I actually thought that the U.S. had more shots than 3. Back around. Now they dump it all the way out to the center ice area, and Canada comes across the line. They work their way in pretty handily that time to get themselves in. That was Sharma that goes in the corner after it. Sharma gets pushed off of the puck. The boards, well played right there by Flaherty, was the one that took her off of the boards. Now they continue to go after it, and the U.S. out of their own zone all the way out to the neutral ice area. They go back. Somebody has lost a stick out there. Not sure who. Oh, that was number 2 for Canada. That was Robitaille that lost her stick. Now it's over in the corner, back behind the goal line. The U.S. pressing, but again, Canada will work their way out, and Picton gets control. She centers it straight forward. Blocked and stopped, and that was intercepted back at center by Flaherty. She had it for a second. Picton comes in. She steals it, takes a high shot off of the crossbar. What a shot. Did she ever roof that one? Back, kept onside. Buchanan has it. She dumped it back inside. Mitchell picks it up for the U.S. Mitchell goes in, gets away from Picton.
Nice play.
Throws it all the way up. Nice play to center it straight down the ice, and she goes back. Faraday goes inside, waits, taken off of the puck on the far side by Buchanan again. Centering against the boards, coming inside, also pinching in against the boards, trying to get the loose puck. Waiting for it, and they're all working after it. This is Sprong that goes after it. Sprong stays with her player. Neither one's going to give it up. Picton comes inside, helps out Sprong. Sprong, Picton, as well as DeClaudio are in. All 3 were inside the corner. Now they go back the other way. Goes in the right side corner. They're trying to grab it. Buchanan picks it back up. She grabs it, lobs it, stops it, blocked at the blue line, and this is picked up and stolen easily by Sharma. As Sharma comes down, she is agile and gets across the line, going inside. And the buzzer goes as Sharma and Kirkpatrick bump just by the hash marks over on the left side, and the first period has come to a quick conclusion. And the score after 1 period of play, Canada 2, the U.S. no score. Shots 13-9 in favor of the U.S. You impressed with what you're seeing so far? And this is very enlightening to watch and fun to call.
Yeah, the game is, one thing I love about this game is it's a very wide open game, and the Olympic surface also helps a lot. These players can move around quickly in many different areas of the ice, and yet you get areas where you get all bundled up, and then all of a sudden you have 4 or 5 players all in one spot. So it's amazing how much speed and toughness is required to play this game.
So Canada is making their way just in the players' bench, or just behind the players' bench, rather. Same with the U.S., and there's going to be an ice clean. So the players will stay in the benches rather than going downstairs. It's too long to go down to the dressing rooms and come all the way back up.
Some teams do, but here they'll probably stick up here. Most of the time they'll sit at the bench and have the coaches will do all the talking. And
you know, it's interesting. You talk to individuals, and I was talking to one of the young boys that's in the timekeeper's box, and he's actually opening and closing the gate, and he's in a wheelchair now.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him, and you talk about the way your life changes. I talked to him, and I introduced myself, and he said, "Oh, I know who you are." And I said, "Well, oh, okay." I said, "Have we met before?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "You put me." He said, "Well, I don't serve penalties because I'm a goalie," but he said, "I used to play ball hockey in White Rock." And I said, "Well, okay." I said, "I don't want to sound mean, but I said, like, how did you go from playing ball hockey in White Rock to being in a wheelchair?" And he said, "Well," he said, "I went out one weekend," he said, "with my friends." He said, "Not that we partied too much." He said, "I was riding my ATV," and he said, "It flipped over on me." And he said, "This is what I'm doing now." And he said, "Once I got past the why me syndrome," he said, which probably took about 6 months to figure out like what happened. He said, "I'm in the wheelchair," and he said, "I'm making the best of it." And he said, "I'm actually really he said, enjoying it." He said, "It's a different side to sport that a lot of people will never understand."
Yeah, you're talking about Mitchell Garrett. He's a goalie for provincial team now. I believe it's a couple years since his accident. He's gone through the trials and tribulations of getting used to the idea that this is where he is now and accepted it. I did the same thing 7 years ago after my motorcycle accident. It's why has this happened to me and where am I going to go from here? And 4 years later I was playing sledge hockey and the spark of new life.
I have to ask you this honestly, did it change the way any of your friends approached you and talked to you?
Yeah, I'm in a bit of a different situation. For most people, friends are friends and they stick around. I was very unfortunate. Most of the people that I knew and or were involved in my life could not accept what had happened to me and have moved on. And with that happening, I've moved on. I've created a new circle of life. The accident hasn't changed who I am. It's just a different point of view, the way I look at life now. I think we all have different situations. Everybody's got their own thing. Every player on each of these teams has a different dilemma, and a different outlook on life. I personally, I still ride a motorcycle. I still enjoy everything at work. I think most of these people that are playing this game are here for the enjoyment and to experience life again.
Laird wants a picture.
Lair's taking pictures of us. More referees.
Yeah, more referees. Well, yourself, myself, and Laird, we've all reffed a lot of hockey. You know, in just regards to what you just said, friends, if they're your friend,
they're friends for life.
They're friends for life. Regardless of what happens in your life, that shouldn't change. I mean, and I'll say the same thing. I went through a divorce, and I lost people that were more, I thought they were my friends, but they were, I guess, after my divorce, I found that they were more friends with my ex-wife.
Yeah, more an acquaintance than friends.
So, you know, they were an acquaintance, but, you know, life goes on, and you just have to make the best of it. But being involved in this, I talked to Janice Coulter, president for the women's sledge hockey the last little while, and boy, what a breath of fresh air. And she is just so focused and pumped to be able to promote the Canadian team.
Right, all these players put a lot of effort into it. A lot of them have to put their own money into keeping themselves in the team. This is the unfortunate aspect of this hockey right now is it's not supported by everybody. We should be supporting all our athletes in a much more accessible way, I believe.
I guess you've got to ask, like, what is, I know it's not quite an Olympic sport yet.
Not yet.
Why?
Not enough teams. They have to have X amount of teams to participate in the Olympics. And at this point, it's not recognized as an Olympic sport, and because of that, there isn't the national support.
Could it not be like a demonstration sport one year at all?
We already have it in men's hockey. Women's hockey is a derivative of hockey, period. And because there is a men's, you're not going to have a demonstration sport on the women's side. I believe that's one of the issues at the moment.
How close does this sport work with Hockey Canada, or do you know?
I'm not really privy to that, but I believe there's some issues. But again, it not being an Olympic sport makes it really tough for the Hockey Canada to get full support to them. But the national team for the men's side, I know has some support from Hockey Canada.
Well, maybe need a little bit more of a push, and I'm hoping that events like this will maybe be able to push and grow the sport.
I believe the same thing. And like I said before, you get more teams from Europe and involved and getting progressively better. Have more tournaments like this and have more teams involved. Have a 3-team tournament or a 4-team tournament if we can. It'll make it much more visible.
Well, there's a lot of people that I've spoke to in the last little while. One is they always say that we've never really heard a lot about the sport.
Yeah, it's still up and coming. It's been around 35, 40 years. It's still in its infant stage, I would say, in being out there. We're 10 years from the Olympics here at the Oval, and that's what this is all about, living the legacy. To have this promotion here is great. It still needs more delivery to more countries. More people need to see it. It's not quite out there enough.
It seems like we've climbed the ladder, but we haven't reached the top level of the ladder.
Yeah, we're still a few rungs short.
Just a bit, which is too bad. But this is growing. So in relationship to the women's sport for sledge hockey, how does it compare to the men's or vice versa?
I think it's the amount of people that are involved. There's many more male participants right now. Feel this is a whole point of this here also is to show that there's access to a female sport in hockey. It needs greater output, and I think this is a great idea and a great aspect for everybody to see. I just hope a lot more people can get involved and pick up our counts here and there.
Well, you and I were talking the other day, and I did not realize until you and I finished having our coffee and walked outside the door of the way the different cities approach what I consider or call the handicap parking stalls. You had pointed out to me, and this is going to, maybe you want to say it's about the city of Surrey. Yeah, it is, because it was in Surrey. And I pulled out, and there's a handicap stall with it's a curb right in front of it. There's no way you're going to get over that curb. And then when you had to go down to where they had the handicap part to leave, you were in the middle of traffic. So I'm going to challenge the cities and the different people that are listed right now. Go around and check your areas for the handicap parking stalls. And if you don't think it's proper, well, get a hold of your city councilors or mayor and let them know that, because, I mean, not everybody is able to run, and your life can be changed in a heartbeat.
Yeah, in Lower Mainland, there's a multitude of
you were telling me about
inaccessibility. There's
paying your telephone bill.
Yeah, even going to there's a Telus store in Surrey that has no accessibility, and the building's been there for 25 years. Parking in a stall that is not designated for handicap because there's no places to park is tough, especially for someone in a wheelchair, and there's many of us that are, and people that park in the parking spots that shouldn't be there. It makes it tough for individuals like myself or any of the players on these teams that have to use a wheelchair to get around. In our time, you would think that the accessibility wouldn't even be an issue, and yet it seems to be more and more that I notice, because it's something that I've seen more and more. It's
sort of, from some people's mind, it's sort of put in the back burner. And I remember when my mother was alive, if she saw people parking at that time in a handicap stall, and Mom's been passed away, I guess about 22 years now, but she would go over and tell them, move your car. Like she said, I don't care if they like me, I'm telling them, move their car.
Yeah, it's tough. Sometimes somebody's forgot their past too, and you don't know. The other thing is this is the issue that a lot of people don't get. Disability and handicap does not mean you can see what it is.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that can walk 25, 30 feet, and they're done. They can't walk now for the next 35, 40 minutes.
No, that's true.
Right?
That's
That's why they have this parking area and as such, is so that it allows them to facilitate life a little bit easier. It's not an easy thing.
I don't need the food. There you go, hon. You can have that. We've got food we can give to kids. I don't mind that.
We're donating our snacks.
That's fine.
That's awesome.
Oh, the little girl.
Yeah, I know. I saw the smile on her face.
Well, my mother used to say, back to my mom, and yes, I loved her dearly, but Mom and I, between the word smiles, between the first S and the last S, there's a mile.
There's a mile in there.
There's a mile in there, so enjoy yourself and have fun. So we're almost at the start period number 2. Hope everyone's got yourself another cup of coffee or a nice little sandwich. Come back and join us for the call for period number 2. And U.S. First team out. Canada taking their time. Oh, I think the goaltender's getting an adjustment. Is it her sled or the pads?
Possibly just the bottom of her sled.
Now, we were talking about that the other day because I didn't know. The sleds. Oh, thank you. The sleds for goaltenders. You were telling me it's a different type of bottom to the sled for the pads.
Yeah, if you watch, she's every goalie has a different setup. All their mitts, their catching mitts, will have spikes. They'll drill screws through their gloves.
On the gloves.
So that they can push away. They obviously cannot use it for hitting anybody.
Let's hope not.
Unless it's out of the way.
Yeah.
But if you notice, like with Gregory, she's got a single pad. She's got it cross-legged.
Yeah, I see that.
And her blades underneath are probably about 4 inches apart, maybe 3. And there is a plastic runner for the blade instead of a steel blade. And that allows her to slide from back and forth. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. Period number 2 is underway. Referee Nicole Kelly dropped the puck. James Gregory, the other referee. Buchanan picks it up for Canada, throws it straight forward. Blocked. It's over against the boards on the right side, and they grab it once again. And DeCaldo, she throws it in. Picton picks it up. She throws it back again. Buchanan goes back to her own goal line, but the puck's over on the far side boards, and they chase it back out to the center zone. Flaherty had control it, waiting for it. Flaherty goes inside, waits, trying to grab the loose puck, and it's back behind the line at the far side. And for the families and friends that are listening in, if we're wrong in some of the pronunciations, our sincere apologies. We got the rosters just prior to the start of the game today, so our sincere apologies. Puck is hit against the goal line on the far side wall.
That's DeCarlo.
It's like a scrum. There's 4 in and 4 leaving. We're shopping with my wife at the local Costco. I don't know which is worse. Back out to center away. They come across the line. U.S. throw it inside. Carefully played to stay onside as they get controller once again. Claudio has it, looks, takes a shot right on goal. Good stop and held on to easily right there by Gregory, who was not going to give that one up at all. So how long do you know how long Gregory has been playing the game? The goaltender? Do we have stats on that?
Yes, we do. She started playing in 2010, and she's a fellow motorcycle enthusiast.
So you can talk to her about riding motorcycles after the game.
Having a chit chat after the game.
You both get that in common. That's okay. I rode bikes too. From the draw, goes back around again. Kilpatrick was the first one going after it. Couldn't get control. Now it's inside. Stopped again by Gregory. Nice stop, and she held on that one. And of course, it seems that every time Gregory holds on the puck, she gets a little bit help from Gore.
So that was Lara Dorland taking a shot on that there.
Another face-off in the corner. Just played over a minute and about 20 seconds so far in period number 2. Canada up by a 2-0 score right now, and they're trailing in the shots 15-9 with the U.S. leading. Right on, Gregory holds onto it. A little bit more traffic all over, so she wisely holds onto it again. She's getting her percentage of shots up anyway.
Their save percentage is going to go up.
Really huge.
That's pretty good.
Before he drops the puck, I was talking to the referees. I said, what's your toughest job? They said, making sure we don't get run over by a sled.
Yeah, positioning in sled hockey is a little different for the referees and any official in the game, the linesmen or referees. You have to be visual lower, which is not usual for a referee.
Bit of a collision over in the middle part of the ice with there, and they grabbed it and picked it back up, dumbing it around. Well played. Eberhard had it for a split second, then Eberhard lost it. It goes out to the middle part of the ice. Gorey comes inside. She couldn't get control, but actually Gorey just wisely left this one back around, and Ma gets it out to the neutral ice area. She chases it back around, but it comes over on the near side boards, inside the boards. Good pickup right there. Well played that time by Sprong. Sprong fights for it. Never managed to get control of it. It went back the other way. Eberhard was the one that was all over her. Now it goes back the other side, waiting for it, trying to get control of it. Shot. Kilpatrick comes in, takes a shot, goes against the boards over on the left side. Doderlane comes after it, waits. She's pushed off of the puck against the boards, left side boards this time, right by the hash marks. It's picked up by Ma. Ma, long stretch pass all the way down the ice.
Good going.
We have icing indicated, and chances are, will we get icing called? No, we have the hybrid icing, so that's naturally waved up. I love that rule because it keeps the game going.
Well, it gets the players involved to no longer just relaxing to go for an icing.
Well, it's a long way to go all the way down there and then have to stop and just go all the way back, especially the cost of ice nowadays. Keep the game going. So they wait for it, and they're all against the boards over on the right side this time, trying to come after it. Lalonde is in there. Lalonde comes off of the boards. Ma comes off of the boards as well. Both of them looking for it. Ma picks this one back up. Ma goes after it. Well played. She gets away from Eberhard that time. Almost taken off her on a steal as they crossed ice by Doderline. Stayed with it on goal. Nice stop and well played. She held on that one too. Now, you look at the goaltender for the Canada, you look at the goaltender for the U.S., and I'm not sure whether you can see a good quick pickup right there. But what's the difference between goaltenders that you can see for their pads?
So what Robinson plays is a straight style. She has her legs out, plays with just regular players' pads, shin pads instead of a full gear pad. It gives her a little bit more flexibility probably. The U.S. national team has a player, his name is Cash, and he's considered one of the best goalies in the sport, and he plays also the same way.
So we'll see. So it goes back behind the net. The U.S. trying to work it all the way out of their own zone this time. First one coming in is Racine. Racine chases her back around. Now goes over against the right side boards, and coming after this one, well played. Villegas, she comes after it. Out to the neutral ice area. A quick turnoff of there right there, and Villegas throws it back out to the middle part of the ice as they throw it inside. Blocked. Taken off of the puck. They'll go back the other way and force their way back up ice. And as they go back up ice, Atkins was the one that threw it down, but we have an icing call. No hybrid icing on that one, Dwayne. Not like we've seen in the past.
Definitely made it in there on her own. There was nobody else around. We'll have a full change again.
Yeah, both players having a full line change. Now, I have to ask you, is there a special referees clinic so they have to go to?
At this point right now, I believe it's just officials being brought out. We've had Nicole referee our provincial team when we were here for the national tournament a couple years ago. She was involved in that tournament. They're coming around. There's a couple of people that are doing games more and more, so they're getting used to the game a lot more, understanding the rules and facilitating the calls that they were calling more penalties than they were getting used to how to choose to call some.
Well, it'd be a learning experience as it's jammed towards the outside of the post.
And bringing it in again.
Yeah. Both players were in there. All the players were in there. Both of the referees moved in. Bit of a bump over on the far side. Picton takes her player off of the puck on the far side boards right in front of the penalty box. Now we come in trying to get control, going straight forward this time. Claudio was the first one in there, but she lost control of it, and this was picked up by Sharma. Centering back in front, right on goal, held on to. Well played and held on again by Gregory for a quick stoppage of play. Now I'm curious to see now with the 3-game series if they're going to be using all the goaltenders, one for every game.
I'm not sure. I think they, you know, in a tournament such as this, if you're promoting everybody, I would think that they would probably use one goalie for each game. But again, I'm not privy to each of the coaches' minds. Everybody wants to win.
That makes sense. So Ma took the draw. She won that draw actually that time. Ma, her counterpart on the faceoff was DeClaudio on that time, but Ma managed to get control. Throws it against the hash marks over the left side wall, waiting for it. They're all coming in. Picton's the first one in there. Waits also coming inside to help out, challenging after the puck, but never got control of it that time. She was waiting for it.
Rafael Tozano.
Tosino was the one that had it for a second, then throws it all the way out to the hash marks on the far side, but it's kept onside by the States. The U.S. keeping it inside as they stop and turn. Now they lob it all the way down the ice, and we could have an icing is indicated, and will it be called? We will wait and see, and yes, we do. We have an icing call. The face-off all the way back inside the zone. Once again, we were talking about young Ma, Lana Ma, number 28. She's from Edmonton, Alberta. She's in her 6th season with the national team, and she's studying kinesiology at the University of Alberta. And, of course, she started playing sledge hockey when she was 9 years old. She's a 2-time national champion with Team Alberta. Got more bios. We'll get to those as quick as we can throughout, if not today, throughout the course of the 3-game series. Shot wide of the net, and they'll go back after this. Left side boards this time. Gorey will have it. Looks, she was bumped off of the puck and throws it straight out to the mid part of the ice, and it's all the way down the ice. Icing indicated. Waved off. Nobody was going to pick this one up. Nobody was in a hurry that time. DeClaudio grabs it, throws it against the boards over on the far side. Waits. A couple players come in and collide. Neither one got control of the puck that time, but it's kept onside. Mitchell was in there for the U.S. Now they go back the other way. They throw it straight forward. Mitchell just managed to get it back up to Flaherty. Flaherty was the one that was in there. Now it goes back the other way, and this is thrown down the ice, and I believe we will have an icing called. Another faceoff back inside Canada's zone with 8:47 left in period number 2. The shot 17-10 in favor of the U.S. So it's got to be interesting. For those that have never watched one of these games before, it's actually interesting to watch.
Yeah, like I said, the speed of the game is a huge factor. I love it.
So from the rock goes back to the mid part of the ice. Shot high over top of the net. What a huge shot. That was what many might just basically call a howitzer, just high and wide. Bittencourt was the one that got it loose. Now it's on the far side. Bittencourt goes after it. This one's grabbed, throw it on the far side. Bittencourt goes after this one once again. And it's shot back to the mid part of the ice. Again, over on the far right side wall. They chase after it. A couple players collided. Heavy check, but they just bounce right back up. It's like one of those little Weeble dolls, like my granddaughter would say. They just bounce themselves right back up.
As they used to say, Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
That's a true statement, too. Sharma, she throws this one straight forward. Goes back to the mid part of the ice, coming after it. Another couple players collided. Both of them just sort of smiled and looked at each other and left and went away. So they can send you notes if you want. You can give them your text message if you want on Twitter, and we appreciate all the kind words that getting from different people.
Nice collision.
Back inside. Yeah, nice collision on that one right there. Now they go back the other way. I still wish this was an Olympic sport. I'd pay money to watch this because this is entertaining.
Yeah, as we keep saying Olympic, and this is actually considered Paralympic sports.
It's Paralympic. Yes, you're so right on that one. You are so correct. My apologies.
Yeah, I grew up. This is sledge hockey. It's now considered para-ice hockey.
You know who would tell me off if I said just Olympics? Carla Quattro.
Yeah,
Carla will be here. Yeah, I know. I'm surprised you didn't hit me on that one. So it goes back. Canada on a real quick line change. The U.S. Look, I don't think they expected that pass to go back forward, but it's inside the zone. They wait for it. Now it goes against the boards over on the far right side this time. Buchanan couldn't get control of it. They throw it back inside. Well played and dumped inside the zone once again. Eberhard had control, but we have a penalty. Yay! I'm happy.
An interference penalty.
Interference. Now, interference is the same interference.
Every rule in sled hockey is exactly the same as stand-up hockey. The one main rule that is different is our T-bone rule, which is a sled connecting with another sled. Just like in a car accident, if you drive straight into the side of a player, you're going to get a T-bone penalty.
And the key on that is, as you made mention, the T-bone. It's pretty much just looks like a T.
If you want to ride somebody off, you can go nose to side, just not dead on. If you're going dead on, they're going to call you for a T-bone.
Yeah, you can direct them off and steer them off. It's just this direct T-bone. Can't do that.
Well, it can cause quite an injuries, especially if you don't have if you're a paraplegic.
That can cause an injury to either player,
you don't know. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, especially to either player.
Yeah.
So from the dock, goes all the way back around, waiting for it, trying to go.
Nice shot.
It's a shot, and they score. The U.S. Oh, they're ever happy. This is Christmas comes early for them. What a huge shot. That completely shocked Gregory. And I'm looking at Gregory, and she's talking to a couple players, like, what happened and how did that happen? We'll take a look at this one after the face-off, because you and I are watching the replay.
Robin Hill got herself one beautiful shot off right at the top of the face-off circle there. Nice lift just over the blocker. Gregory was probably blocked a little bit when it went in, but just a clear shot.
Just a clear shot that went straight in, so that gets one for the U.S. We have a 2-1 game right now. The U.S. rebounding, coming back.
As they say, we now have a hockey game.
We do. Start to finish. Gregory leaves it back behind her own net this time. Well played. She just dumped this one back. Gloria had control. Gloria goes after her player. Ma comes back inside trying to grab it. Shot stopped on goal once again, and Gregory holds on to it for another quick stoppage of play. What a nice play, but well set up. Gloria just couldn't get control of the puck as it went. She went one way and the puck went the other, so we have a quick change right now on the play. So as you made mention, Canada's penalty was for interference, which was nullified during the goal.
All the penalties are exactly the same. It is in most of these sports, lacrosse, hockey. You cannot take somebody out that does not have possession of the puck.
So from the shot, goes all the way back in front once again. The Claudio goes after it, holding on to this one. Again will be Gregory.
5 players scrum in front of the net.
So 6:22 left. Shots doubled, 20-10 for the U.S.
Hill has a pretty good shot here from the defensive point. Picton blocked her last one, and here she has it again.
She gets it all the way back again, trying to get it through, and couldn't get it past Picton that time.
Picton doing the army crawl. We'll explain that later.
We will. Shot against the boards, kept back inside by Mitchell, who dumped it in from the boards over on the left side.
Number 31, Robin Hill.
Hill scored, you can hear by the announcements. The Claudio gets the assist on that goal by Hill to get him back in the game. 2-1 for Canada right now in front.
Face-off again.
Hold on to it, and we'll have another face-off.
So I was saying that Chris Picton was just doing an army crawl.
So you can explain that.
What that is if you get upset onto your sled and you end up on your side of your stomach and the puck is there, it's quicker to crawl across the ice with your picks on your stick than it is to try to right yourself on the sled and then try and get to the puck. 9 times out of 10 you'll actually beat the player there on the sled.
And in that case, she almost did. Didn't succeed, but close to it. So the puck goes back behind the goal line over on the left side this time. Waits, they're all coming in after it. Unable to get control. Now it goes back to mid part of the ice, and Picton goes back again. Picton easily played. She gets past her player, and it goes inside over on the right side. Picton comes inside once more. She goes in. Bittencourt stays with her. Picton gets written off of the puck, and it goes against the boards. Nice play by Picton to get it all the way down the ice from one end to the other. Big collision over on the far side that time. And Canada gets one more on the board and takes a 2-goal lead again. Yeah, nice shot. Nice play.
I believe it.
So that was a nice, smart play going straight up the ice by Picton to get it down from one end to the other.
Yeah, she's a very smart player. So we're looking at the replay right now. The puck is shot in, and Picton comes in.
So we're watching the video right now, so you can see that all set up.
Puck is centered across, and Picton, nice deflection into the goal.
So from the dock, goes all the way back inside. Over on the left side boards, the first one coming inside after this one. Wenji will go after it. She just throws it against the boards. Lalonde comes over on the right side. She was unable to get control. It was out of her way, and Ma picks it up for Canada. Ma still in control, throws it straight forward with her left side of her stick. She dumps this one back inside. Lalonde throws it inside. Now they go back across the line again. Nice play coming back to Sinna. She goes after the puck. It was deep behind the goal line. Now she has to retreat off of the boards on the right side to go back to the middle part of the ice to see whether or not they can send her back out to her. And she was the first one at the puck right again. Going back after it. Well played. Not going to give that one up. Tucena is there. Now they throw it against the boards, and Canada continuing to press inside the U.S. zone. They're all fighting for the puck. Far side. Ladley had control. Ladley stays with it in the corner. Waits. Ladley and Ma, the two of them pushed against the boards. Trying to kick the puck loose. Neither one could. It's still there. They're trying to jam at it and knock it all the way out. Waits. They did. Collision in front. They just reset the sled and get it back up. Drusina was the one that was tipped, but managed to push herself back up really quick. She's agile on that sled.
Yeah, this is core. Everybody's got to get themselves back up as quick as possible. It's not an easy task to do. You need to use your stick, give yourself a shove, and up you go. Some are a little bit more agile and able to just pick themselves up and go. Bigger guys like myself, we have to give ourselves a bit of a push to get ourselves up off the ground.
Is it harder if you're a bigger person to get yourself up?
A little bit. It's a force to get yourself up sometimes. Nope. Face-offs, draw right back to the goalie, and we'll have
back to the goalie, do it again, all over again. It doesn't take long.
It's Sharma in the face-off zone.
So from the draw, Canada pushes it out.
And
We've got a delayed penalty coming up again by the referee. Referee indicated something. He saw something he obviously did not like that goes against the rules, so we're looking.
I think it's a hold.
Might be a holding penalty. You've got to wait. You have to wait till the players move so you see what's going on.
A little confusion out here, but I believe it's for the U.S. It's a holding penalty against number 16.
I see the U.S. gate open, so
yes. So
I'm guessing
number
it's going to be.
16, Quimby, is going to be going off for a holding penalty.
So they'll line themselves up. They're still waiting. Get the right number of players out. Well, they sent two off. Now they got one back going. The one going all the way back inside will stay on to the ice. Faraday, she is going to be staying on the ice right now. And, of course, I'm looking. She's from Massachusetts, young girl. Plays. Now goes back to mid part of the ice. Canada keeping it onside as they hold on to it. Waits. Canada circling there, trying to grab it. Gorey comes inside. She was unable to get control, and Picton goes after it now. Picton picks up some valuable speed. Unable to get control, but she's going to be the first one back inside the zone after it. They're looking. Picton directing traffic. She's like the quarterback on the team out there. She's telling everybody what to do. Just a matter of whether or not they listen.
Yeah, that's her job, and she is definitely the one that leads this team.
Seems funny. It sounds like I was talking about my wife when I said that. Do they listen? No, my wife has selective hearing. They go against the boards. Picked a nice check on Kilpatrick. Boy, did she ever flatten her. Is that a legal check?
Perfectly legal.
Okay.
Shoulder to shoulder.
Shoulder to shoulder. Boy, oh boy. Down the ice. We have an icing call again. Now, speaking of shoulder to shoulder, as I was just make mention, or you made mention of, do they wear shoulder pads?
Yes, most players will wear shoulder pads and shin pads, depending on their legs. If you're a double amp, you'll have a protective guard over your legs. Single amps will have a protective guard on the one side of their legs usually, and they wear shin pads on their legs. In the national tournaments, I believe now they're trying to promote that all players wear a hockey boot, obviously with no blade on it, to protect their feet, because
that makes sense.
This puck can hurt, and a lot of times they don't know. You have no feeling or in your legs. You get hit, you bunk up a bone or two in the bone of the foot. You wouldn't know about it.
No, that's so true. That's so true. Gray turns. Look, she's playing tough defensively inside in front of her own net this time. Ladley was the one that had it for the U.S. Now they go back again. Far side. Ma dumps it straight forward this time. As Ma throws it straight forward, she gives it over to Sharma. Sharma lost one of her sticks. Now she has to go back. She's trying to get back up. That's got to be a tough job when you only get one stick.
It's a little tough to propel when you only got one, especially if you're at a dead stop.
Well, I'm looking at her, and boy, she's having a bit of a struggle. She'll get there. She did.
Yep.
You have confidence in them. Carefully played. They tagged up. They got themselves onside, regardless of whether she lost her stick. She was the first one to the puck, and she gets control. Bumped off the puck again, giving it back over to Picton. Mid part of the ice. Picton goes over. She gets around it. Nice stick handling. The minor penalty. Yep, minor penalty's back. The penalty is expired. Teams are back 5 aside. They had like too many players on the ice, but she was trying to get off the ice. So now it's fine. If the referees don't see it, it's fine. All fair in love and war, right?
It's tough when you have the gates open with these players. They can't always see it, and that's one of my fears is somebody crashing in through a door.
Well, that's a valid point, too. Still against the boards, waiting for it. As they're all fighting for the loose puck. It's still there. Picton's there. Ma has control. Ma is over on the left side. Now she throws it back behind her net. And as she pushes it back behind the net, Picton had control and just throws it all the way back down the ice.
Now it's going to be a race again.
This will be a foot race. It will. Icing
Canada
should be
will win
waved
this
off.
race.
It was waved off that time. Goes right on goal. Nice stopped again. And Rosie Robinson had to be alert and come out and stop that one. She jumped all over that.
Yeah, the Canadian players are chasing and outrunning the U.S. on the icings. Robinson's got to keep her eyes open, and any board pucks coming off, she's got to make sure that they're not going to get into the sticks of Picton or a Sharma or a Ma.
So a late line change for Canada. They're slow to come back out onto the ice. The referee, James Gregory, gets them all lined up. So as they line themselves up for the draw, that was Racine that took the draw. She pushed it straight forward. Now goes back behind the net once more. Over on the blue line far side. Unable to keep that one on side, but they'll turn and circle and go back after it. Robitaille, she goes in the corner, right side corner. She manages to bump that time. Clock's ticking down. We've got about 30 seconds left in the second period of play. And it's still against the boards over on the far side. They're all coming inside after this one. Now goes back to the blue line in the neutralized area. Turning and grabbing this one, throwing it back. Well played that time. Kirkpatrick had control. Kirkpatrick threw it back. Now it goes in the far right side corner once again. And Robitaille will pick this one up for Canada. She holds on it. Robitaille bumps in the corner. Heavy check thrown on the one side with DeClaudio. DeClaudio fights for it. We've got 4 of them down. The buzzer goes to end period 2. And they get now a little bit more aggressive. So
a little bit feisty in the corner at the end.
Yeah, a little testy on the far side. So regardless, they come in. They buzzer goes. Period number 2 has come to a conclusion. Shots after 2 periods of play. 22-13 for the U.S. And Canada leads in the score by a 3-1 margin as the players will go to their benches right now. And the Zamboni comes out. And we will have an ice clean after period number 2. Your thoughts on 2 periods of play from what we've seen, despite the fact that the U.S., Dwayne, are dominating in the shot department, Canada seems to be capitalizing on it.
Yeah, the plays pretty much going back and forth. I think the U.S. shots, a few of them were more from the outside. It's not a lot of inside chances. Canada's capitalized on a few lucky bounces. Picton's goal was a beautiful deflection. I believe that's more or less what the situation is right now with our shots.
Well, the shot's pretty dominant, so it doesn't take long for an ice claim because they've got 2 Zambonis that they work in this facility. And, of course, this facility goes back, dating back to the Olympics in 2010. Built it initially, this is the Olympic venue for the speed skating.
Speed skating, correct. So it's been changed a little bit. Speed skating was here for the Olympics. A little bit after that, and then they've developed into 2 ice rinks. The one here that we're playing on is Olympic size.
This rink is actually called the North Rink, which is closer to the window and closer to the mountains. That's why they call it the North Rink.
It's a little tough to play in this rink at certain times of the day
because of the lights in the window.
We get the sun coming through midday, and when we were here playing during our nationals a couple years ago, one of our goalies was looking up at the sun, and it was like getting a suntan. He said it was pretty bright.
You know, the other rink that's pretty much when you talk about getting bothered by the sun, the other rink that's like that is the one up in Whistler. And Whistler's the same, where they've got the big old windows on the far side, and if you're actually playing, you can actually look out the window and watch the skiers coming down the hill.
Yeah, it's a different kind of facility there. You got the outside view.
So it should be interesting. So give us your overall thoughts on the 2 periods of play we've seen so far, Dwayne.
Well, first period was pretty tight. I believe the second period here we've gotten a little bit more open. The players have, I think, gotten used to each other again. And we have some body checking going on, which is nice to see.
So the Zamboni's out, and we talked about what we're seeing and how it's playing out. Very entertaining, and a lot of school kids coming in today. And, of course, this is still Olympic week. And despite the fact that it's Olympic week and we're bringing you this game from the Richmond Olympic Oval, it's interesting to note that those that are listening in, yesterday it was announced in Vancouver that John Furlong, who was in charge of the 2010 Canada Winter Olympics and Paralympic Games in Vancouver Whistler, has actually talking to the Vancouver and Whistler about putting a bid in to host the 2030 games as well.
Well, that is very interesting.
Yeah, I think caught a lot of people off guard, but I guess it's time to submit the bid, so which is fine.
Yeah, you have to get your bid in quite early. It's quite the process to have the bids all selected.
Well, it is. It takes a while for the bid process to be selected, and of course, it's interesting. But I hear, as do you, sometimes we hear horror stories about cities that have hosted the Olympics in the past, and then after it's over, then the facilities never get used, and they just go downhill and go by the wayside. And it's such a shame that that happens in some of the different areas.
Yeah, it's one of the things I've noticed here, that most of the venues are still being used. I know that Whistler has many venues up there that are still functional and still being used by the public now. It's its training facility also. Having these rinks opened up and used all the time is it's good to see that we are using them. And yes, you're right. There's a lot of cities where once the Olympics is over and that bid is done, it's almost like it's shut down.
Yeah, and that's sad.
And it's a sad thing because there's so much that can come out of what has happened, and that's this legacy idea is a great idea for the city of Richmond and in Whistler.
Well, when we talk about Olympic areas and cities that the facilities are still being used, let's go back to Calgary and the '88 Olympics in Calgary. I mean, those facilities are still being used.
Yeah, they got the run up in the hill, the arenas and stuff. Laird.
So anyway, Laird's here, so Laird's going to talk to me.
Number 12 on there, Gene, did you get my message? Yeah. It's 15. Number 27, Canada, is only she's 14. She didn't play in the second, but her parents are not just the age thing.
Good. Okay, now we got some inside information from Laird. He was telling us that Laird was just making mention that number 27 for Canada, as we look at number 27,
that's Alyssa White.
Alyssa White, she's from Winnipeg, and that she's only 15 years old and hasn't played too much, but is quite enjoying it.
That's the one thing about this sport. There's no real age discrepancy, as you could say. If you look at the ages of some of the players on the U.S. team, we have one of the goalies. She's Hope Bellemeyer. She's 43 years old, playing in Vegas. And then we have players on their team. Chloe Kirkpatrick, she's only 15 years old, and she's playing out of Hope in Minnesota. It's one thing I love about this is the diversity. For the ages and for like our local areas, we don't discriminate against ages, players, persons, all skill levels, everywhere. Everyone's allowed on the ice. And,
okay, so I'm going to jump in real quick. For those that are listening in, you had made mention that Kirkpatrick, she's from Minnesota, played for Hope Hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
She's from Bemidji.
Yes.
Now, for those listening in, parents, family, friends in Bemidji, do you know what Bemidji is famous for? They have a huge Paul Bunyan statue in Bemidji. Driven through Bemidji, going from Ontario all the way up to Winnipeg, cutting through the U.S., going down the U.S. Highway 2, and had a chance, stopped in Bemidji, did a little bit of tourist-type shopping. And, of course, my wife was good. She spent my money, but we had a good time. So that's what Bemidji is famous for. So now there's your education for the day.
As we say, you learn something new every day.
You do. And we were talking about different players. We'd also made mention, Laird came down and told us that young Kirkpatrick from Bemidji, she's only 15. So that's, 15. So, there's no age limit as well.
No, the women's league or women's teams are definitely varied in ages, right up to I believe Villegas is 46 years old. She's from Florida. It's amazing. Like I'm 55 and I play with kids that are 16, 17 years old, and we're all out there having fun and enjoying the sport.
Now, despite the fact that it's competitive, do you try and take liberties on these younger people?
As much as I can.
Why does that not surprise me?
They know, they expect.
I think that's the thing. I think
for the most part, you respect the size, you respect the people that you're out there with, and everybody gets along. If we have new persons on the ice, we know that they're new. We're not going to go out there and clobber somebody that's not ready for it. Everybody has their own skill level, and once you get to this level and you know what you're doing, you understand it. You're not going to go out there with somebody that's a very novice player and knock them out. If you do that, they're not coming back.
No.
We're trying to grow the sport. We don't want to kill it.
Well, that's the thing, is you want to encourage and not discourage anybody from coming back. And, of course, respect is a two-way street.
Yes.
Because you're liable to get them once, and payback can be a real problem sometimes.
It can be, yeah. Especially as an older guy as myself.
You're looking and going, you actually hit me. And they're going, yes, I did. I took advantage of that when you weren't looking. So, so anyway, it's interesting, coming out. I'm watching the different people come out and enjoy the contest here in the game. And, again, this is courtesy of working with the Canadian Women's National Sledge Hockey Team and Richmond Oval. And I believe it's called Oval TV. And if I'm wrong, my apologies to the Richmond Oval. But they're webcasting the games. You've got 3 different cameras they're using. It's up on the roof behind us. And I was told that I've never utilized this system before. So, again, I stand to be corrected. The puck goes, and it follows the puck. It's a puck tracker, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Apparently there's an algorithm put into the computer system that allows it to follow the pack of play. And
so it's almost like those Fox pucks they used to use in the NHL.
Somewhat similar to that. The only difference is there's no cameraman. This is all fully automated. It's got 3 set cameras. They're in 3 different areas, and they all focus on the ice at the same time. And once the play gets going, the main focus of the camera will be on the pack of the puck itself, and follows the flow.
Well, it's interesting, talking about the Fox puck that they used to use in the NHL years back. You and I've got a friend that just retired from the National Hockey League, Brad Lazare, which Brad was telling me that he said, would you believe, he said, when you went to do a game, he said, they would give you the pucks. And he said when you left the game, he said they had a count of all of them.
They took every puck back.
They took every puck back. He said they knew what they were given. If they give you 10, they wanted 10 back. And if it went in the crowd, they'd fight to go get it back from the crowd.
Searched it out and got it back.
Yeah, they got it back.
They weren't the $3 pucks you get at the store.
No, not at all. Not at all. So we are getting set. Canada's slow to come out of the gate for the start of period 3. Canada coming out. The U.S. are also back to their net. They're having a little bit of a pep talk and see what they're going to do. See whether or not they can come back and rebound. Right now they're trailing by a 3-1 margin. And no doubt from what we've seen their level of play, they'll come back and wouldn't surprise me if they come back and got another goal on the board.
Everybody huddles up before the start of the period. Everybody's figuring out what they're going to do right now.
Now, they don't carry, unlike hockey, where they have, like men's hockey or women's hockey, where they have like 21 players, you don't have that many on a team.
No, 17 players is a good-sized team for this. Usually have 2 full lines, maybe a partial third line. So you're looking at 14 to 15 instead of 17. It's just a variance of how the coaches wish to carry their team. They can carry a team of 3 forward lines and 2 defensive lines, and that's not an unusual situation.
One thing I've noticed out here, the referees are waiting for them to finish a little bit of a huddle. They're very patient. They're not in a hurry.
No, and
I'm surprised.
I'm kind of surprised at that.
Yeah, I thought they'd be like lickety-split, let's get going. We got to get period number 3 underway. But, again, this is a 3-game series. We should make mention that they're playing today, they're playing tomorrow, and again Sunday morning as well. So it's going to be interesting to watch. Are you getting text messages from people?
Yeah, again? I just got a text, and Peggy Yassick plays on the team, and she's not here. As I said earlier, she's back home with her dad. She's texted me saying that the game on Sunday is at 7 p.m. I believe it's at 11 a.m., but find out and be corrected later.
I'm going through the schedule that I've got from Janice. So
I believe it's 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon and 11 a.m. Sunday.
And of course, we should make mention. Yeah, we should make mention that it depends where you're listening, whether it's Ontario time or BC time. That
3 hours that makes a big difference.
That's a big 3-hour time difference on that one right there. So we'll double check that and get it back to you as quick as we can, and let you know the official times that we were given for the broadcast. And it goes in, nice stop, held onto it, throws it back in the corner over on the right side this time, and they just dumped it back around again. This was Mackenzie Sprong that had it. Goes in the corner. Sprong is still in the corner after, waiting for it. She's from London, Ontario. Good place, Victoria Park in London, Ontario. Know it very well. My grandmother, if you're listening in from London, my grandmother used to live right behind the Kellogg's Cornflakes place on Dundas Street. Dundas and Eleanor was where my grandmother grew up and lived. Nice. So line change and a penalty for the U.S. So now I'm just pull up my game time. So the game times that we have been given officially, today is fine, tomorrow on Saturday, and this is BC time. Tomorrow the game starts at 2:45. The puck drop is 3 p.m. BC time, so that would be 6 o'clock in Ontario. And Sunday, the girls take to the ice at 10:45. The puck drop is 11 a.m. BC time on Sunday, so that would be 2 o'clock in Ontario. So those are the official times that we were given by Janice. And I'm talking about Janice Coulter, the president for the Women's Sledge Hockey of Canada, who has been in town since apparently Monday, she was telling me. So the puck is all the way down the ice, going after it as they work after it, trying to grab it once again. They'll get control. Glory will have it. Glory is from Chatham, Ontario. Also the southern part. They get control, throwing it back inside again. They're all fighting for it. Waits, never managed to get it. Tusina, she had it for a second. Now she has to go back out of the attacking zone. Tusina is the trailer. Tusina is actually tagged up behind everybody, behind the lines with Hill. The two of them were the last two out of the zone. Far side boards coming out. The U.S. going in, taking a huge shot. Rolls wide in front. Boy, that was a quick deflection right there. And Gregory had to be alert on that one, Dwayne.
Yes, she did. Pushed it off and pushed it away just right. Pushed the direction away from the goal.
So they have it. Shot it wide again over top of the net. And it goes over in the right side corner. U.S. just got a penalty. It was for interference. The time of the penalty was 14:04 on the clock. It was actually at 56 seconds on the clock, and the penalty was given to Brianna Atkins from Las Vegas, Nevada, home for the Vegas Golden Knights. Yes.
Yeah, who have two sled hockey teams. Amazing. We have support in the States for all the NHL teams in the States have associated teams playing in the sled leagues.
And the Canucks are not associated?
Yeah, it's a different story up here in Canada. We're all trying to still push to have all our Canadian teams get involved the same way as the U.S. teams have.
I'm going to get involved and talk to them for you. I go to the game, so I'm going to do it. Coming inside, Pickton goes in. Shot over in the corner that time. Nice play. Robinson just easily played that, but Pickton picked it back in front. Pickton managed to throw that one all the way back out in front. Nice play. Tusina was the one that got the shot away. They still fight for it. Ma has control. Ma looks, turns, circles. What's she going to do? Unable to throw it back around, but it's kept onside. Nice play to keep it onside by Sharma. Sharma looks, throws it back to Ma. Ma dishes it back over on the far side. Roy will keep it onside. She turns, left-handed shot, getting a shot through traffic, and Ma intercepts this one. Ma leaves it back for Pickton. Pickton goes inside, gets around her player. They go in the corner, waits. Tusina is all the way out in front, getting it back to her, and she couldn't get the shot on goal, but she was wide open in front of the net, Dwayne. What a chance and nice setup.
Yeah, it came off of Raphael's stick just the wrong direction. That's too bad. So
Goy gets tipped. She's actually upside down, but she boosts herself and gets herself back into play.
Like I said earlier, it's all core. You got to whip yourself around and pick yourself back up as quick as possible.
See, I would still be upside down, complete. I would be phoning a friend for help.
Yeah, it's sometimes we look like we need a crane.
Gory is there. She never got control of it. Everybody's for it. Eberhard has it. Looks. Eberhard's against the boards. Kirkpatrick is there as well. Referee is standing saying, I'm not sure what we're going to do, but it's still a little bit loose. It comes loose, and they did. They throw it all the way back out. Again, bumped off. Gory is going to get a penalty.
Yes, I believe we're going to have an interference penalty.
Oh, interference penalty. You think that's a little obvious?
Yeah, I think so. She used her arm and her hand to push the player over, and that's not really allowed. It's similar to a roughing call, I guess. If you're able to push somebody over with your hand, it's not going to happen. They're going to take you off the ice for that.
Picton's questioning the referee, and of course the referee, Nicole Kelly.
No, it was a good call. I understand the call.
Obvious?
She pushed over pretty good.
Yeah, she did. She gave her a little bit of a good shot.
It was a good shove.
That was a good shove.
Yeah. Had that been a shoulder to shoulder, I don't think it would have been a call. But because she used her arm to physically move her over, that created an.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing is she extended her arm.
Mm-hmm.
That was the deal right there.
Yeah, so almost threw her like a punch.
Can't do that. Goes against the rules.
There's Hill with another shot.
Yeah, nice shot. Goes high over top of the net. Goes on the far side this time. Pinching back in, trying to go after it and grab it. Just a little bit missed on that one. Not by much, but enough to not capitalize on the loose puck. And they continue to press inside. That was Mitchell that goes in. She had the shot
nice
on goals. Big scramble in front. They're all fighting for the loose puck. Is it loose? Yes,
it's
the
still
puck is loose.
Yes, it is. There it is. Covered up now.
Had it all covered up. Referees right on the spot watching the whole scenario transpire, and no goal on the play.
Yeah, Gregory had to use her whole body to keep the puck out. Made a good save.
So it's interesting when you're talking about Gregory because we've got Jesse Gregory as a goalie and James Gregory as a referee. No relation.
Not at all, no.
Just so everybody knows, just so we don't want to say there's any problems.
There's no conflict.
No, not at all. So from the dock goes against the boards over on the left side this time. They're trying to grab it and get control. They did. They shot it. Lalonde tried to clear it out. She lost her stick. She got back, picked it back up. Good agile move to pick it back up and get control. The U.S. chasing it back around all the way out to the center zone. And they grabbed it and turned. Kirkpatrick has control. Adam
just slide right on through.
Adam come right through. She goes back. Lalonde turns, goes back again. Kirkpatrick comes after her. Lalonde has to go back inside her own zone. They go inside, taking a huge shot and missed the net. Gregory had to be alert on that shot and be knowing where it was coming from. It's kept inside the corner. As it goes inside the corner once again, DeClaudio is in there. Waits, referee comes over. It's the one thing the referees have to, and they can move from side to side so they get a better vision of what's going on so they are well aware of it. It's at the blue line area. Again, going inside, trying to get the shot away. They got the shot. That was Hill that kept it onside the blue line. Now Hill gets back up. Sled tipped over, but she gets it back up, taking a huge shot. Nice play, good deflection on that one. And that's where that single goalie pad comes into play, I think, where you were talking about earlier on.
Yeah, she had to reach up for that one. That shot was pretty high, and it was a pretty good stop.
So it's back against the boards. Right side this time, boards. They're all coming after it. Lalonde is in there. Lalonde goes after it, waiting for it. Never managed to get control of it that time, and they're all going continuing.
Nice shot, nice pass.
Well shot, passed once again. They're going after it. And they looked again, and Canada managed to pick this one back up. That's Lalonde
killed off the penalty.
Penalty is over. Teams are back 5 aside. Shot, funny hop in front. The U.S. coming inside. Nice play to pick it back up, and they held it for a second.
Another beautiful stop by Gregory laying on the summit.
Yeah, U.S. considering right now they're pressing. They're leading in the shots, doubled again, 28-14. And the U.S. will retreat to their own blue line, unable to keep it on side, and it goes all the way back out to the neutral zone. Back again. Flaherty has control. Lalonde goes after her. Flaherty comes up the middle part of the ice. She picks up some valuable speed. Bumped off of the puck. Just rolls and gets back up and continues to go after it. Hill stops it. Hill. Backhand shot all the way up the middle part of the ice, and this is picked back up. And they just turn and throw it back the other way. That was Mitchell that dumped it over on the boards on the left side. Good solid body check on the far side boards that time. That was well taken. Buchanan took her off of the puck.
Yeah, Claire gave her a good shot in the boards. Knocked her down.
I think she was expecting the shot, but nonetheless, it was still a good solid shot. And it goes back right just below our broadcast location.
Yeah, if you see it coming, you can brace for it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think if you can see it coming, you can prepare and brace for it.
Mm-hmm.
Kirkpatrick goes all the way up. The U.S. thought about having a line change, but nobody went off. They had one player coming out. And we will have an icing call now. I'm assuming that they might have a line change, and they will. So the U.S. has a line change once again, and face-off back inside the U.S. zone. It'll be to the left of the young goaltender, Rosie Robinson. So all the players are slowly coming back down. I was waiting for you to talk. Dwayne's having you got water. I got you some water.
I know. And all the players went to the wrong end of the ice. We're trying to figure out what everybody's confusion was.
The referees are looking, where are you? And they were off the other end.
The wrong way,
that was actually funny when you said that. They're looking at the other end. So they'll come back inside. Eberhard will be in for the U.S. She took the draw. Robinson had to set herself up, so she knew where it was going to go. Doderline comes in. Wait, she was bumped off of the puck this time by Sharp. Nice play. Rebecca Sharp had it. Looks. Now they just throw it straight forward. And Robillard's going to go after her player, waiting for it, trying to get control. Gore will turn. She gets control. Gore still fights, gets away from her player, pushed off of the puck, but she continues, throws it straight forward. And as it goes across the line, a couple players collided. Neither one knew what was going to happen in that time. And the U.S. trying to get control, and they did. Back over to Dieterlein. He jumps all the way up the center. Dieterlein goes back, slides it underneath the sled of Gore that time. And this is stolen and intercepted by Sharp, as Sharp had control of it. Back inside the U.S. zone. Gore was going to go after it. Instead of that, they'll leave this one. Robitaille takes it behind her own net. Robitaille gets bumped off of the puck behind the net. Well played, Diamond. She was just T-boned right there by Ladley. Ladley stays with her. The referee is watching it. The referee, Nicole Kelly. 2 referees in the game today. Do they ever use 3?
Yes.
When?
I'm actually surprised that there isn't a 3rd referee.
Maybe because it's Friday they couldn't find 3?
It's quite possible. I'm hoping that they have a 3-referee system going on for the weekend.
Well, we will find out. We'll know when they drop the puck tomorrow. Back at the blue line. Nice play to keep it back on side again. Eberhard had control, but it was shot on goal and well played and stopped again by Gregory.
Well, another full line change for everybody.
So I would guess when you're talking about the three officials, is it easy for the linesman to call the game?
It's it's a lot easier if we have a 3-person team out there. Yes. I find it more consistent if you have the single referee or the 2 referees out there versus having the 2 linesmen doing it.
Well,
in that situation.
Yeah,
because you're looking out for other jobs while you're doing the same job.
Yeah, and all players want is consistency.
Yes,
goes against the boards. Waits. Mitchell come in. She moved. Referee James Gregory had to move and get out of the way, so he didn't get run over by the sled. Mitchell sort of looks up as she's going towards her, like, out of my way. I'm coming in, sunshine. Move.
Yeah, if you don't get out of the way, you get knocked down. And I had that situation last year in Elmira. I took out a referee because I had to go between his legs, and he went right over top of me.
Well, we talk about how important it is visual-wise.
Yeah, sometimes the play happens pretty quick, and it's hard to get out of the way for an official. You'll see that they're not all right on the boards. They'll be back 10 feet off the board sometimes, work their way around.
Smart move. So the puck is dumped all the way out in the neutral zone once again. And throwing it back inside will be Mitchell. The late offside was nullified, so they'll turn and circle and go back inside the zone once again. This is DeClaudio. She is the first one inside. She keeps it against the hash marks. DeClaudio is there. If I look at the monitor, I'm lost on the monitor.
Yeah, our monitor's a little bit behind time.
Well, that's live streaming. For any live streaming, not just there. Any live streaming you do. That's the way it is.
In front there.
Yeah. Oh, they come together. A little bit of a free shove, like if you want to call it a free shove.
It's going to be a little testy right now.
Well, it's 3-1. So with the time ticking down, 4:52 remaining in the third period of play right now. Canada's still up by a 3-1 margin, but the shot's 29-14. So they're almost double. If you're looking at 50-30.
The U.S. is going to press as much as they can right now, I'm sure, to get the next goal.
Well, we'll see how it plays out because the U.S., like you say, they are pressing indeed. They're really trying to work it and make sure it's set up right. Just a matter of time, and who gets the line. Might be a lucky bounce that comes in and scores, whether it's for Canada or the U.S.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, a lucky bounce is really working their advantage for any team in any sport, too. Took all the back out again. to the neutral ice area. They grabbed it again, stopped, blocked, and that was turned. Kirkpatrick has control. Looked, Kirkpatrick couldn't get control of it. Taken off of the puck right there by Racine. Racine sort of looks, gives her a little bit of a shot right there. Lalonde is coming inside. Racine goes inside as well. I could never play this sport. My arms would be like, they would fall off. They would have fallen off after the first period, Dwayne.
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy to.
Oh, upper body core strength is remarkable.
You get some pretty strong arms doing this.
The only thing I'm used to picking up that's strong is a cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee and a beer.
That's about it. Well, beer for you, coffee for me. Cross ice, pass again, going inside. Waits, trying to get the shot. That was over top of the net. Nice high shot. Did she have a roof, that one?
Yes, Adam. It's too bad that she cleared the whole goal. It looked like a field goal attempt.
Yeah, Racine comes inside. She was pushed out of the puck. Referee is talking to him, telling him to keep the play going and stay out of the way. Rusty had it for a second. Now it goes back the other way, and it goes all the way out to center ice. Couple players chasing after this one, trying to grab it. Sprong is one of them. Sprong comes inside. Her counterpart chasing her back down was Kirkpatrick. Bit of a collision there. Now they turn. Waits. U.S. pressing inside. Taking a huge shot. Rebound. Scramble. Couldn't get control of it. Just couldn't put her stick on that one, Dwayne. But what a chance.
She lost it on her way through the goal.
What an opportunity the U.S. had on that one. You can tell they're really working hard. Now they grab it. Shot again. Deep inside. They're going after it. That was Bittencourt that got the shot away. Bittencourt continues to press inside. Now it's over on the far right side boards. Grabbing it, dumping it back out again. This is Bittencourt that has control of it, and Bittencourt had it for a second. Eberhan had it. Looks, waits. Eberhan comes inside. Bittencourt is still in there. Bittencourt is trying to kick it loose. Finally, it goes all the way loose. It goes back the other way, and it's dumped down the ice by Canada. And
to clear it out.
We will wait, and we will have an icing call on the faceoff back inside Team Canada zone with 2:46 remaining. Canada leading by a 3-1 score.
So, if you notice now, the defensive game of Canada is going to pick up. They've tightened themselves into almost a 5-man box, and only chasing the puck on the boards when it looks at their chance to be able to pick it up and clear it. The U.S. are in there forcing a play as much as they can. They just haven't got reliable shots yet.
Well, the U.S. the last couple of minutes, the U.S. have, as you made mention, have really had a couple of different chances. Just unable to capitalize. And it's thrown all the way back out. Picton's going to be chasing this one back down. She picks up some valuable speed, going after it. Picton stops. Takes her player off of the puck over on the far side again. That was DeClaudio that had it. Waiting for it. Ma lost her stick, retreats, goes back after it. She's pretty agile at getting one stick when she only had one. Now it's dumped all the way down. Will we have an icing call? We will have another icing call. Face-off back inside the Canada zone.
When
and
you're talking about players losing their sticks, the coaches, they have drills where they have players, they get to do circles and drills with just a single stick.
So we have Canada is getting a penalty. An icing call transpired, but Canada is getting a minor penalty for interference on the play. And there looks like they're going to pull the goaltender out for the extra attacker right now. So the U.S. net is empty.
Robinson's gone, and we have 6-on-4.
6-on-4. This is a huge power play. So Wade will get the correct number out. And the one that's got the penalty, I believe it is number 2. That's Robitaille, got the minor penalty.
The U.S. are a little confused as how many players they have on the ice.
I don't think they saw the goaltender out of the net. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, they've got
chasing the boards, and they're not sure. So they're
well, they kept looking back. I don't think anybody told them they had the goaltender out of the net. That's why they were confused on that play right there before the draw. Pushed off of the puck. Waits, they all come inside. DeClaudio goes inside after this one. Also coming inside to go after the loose puck was Flaherty. She had it. Flaherty was in there over against the right side boards. They're all pushing after it. They're trying to knock the puck loose, but just couldn't get it free that time.
No, we got a board face-off.
Face-off. The puck was held against the boards long enough for a stoppage of play, so...
Which doesn't usually happen.
No.
They're usually forced to play the puck. Somebody's called a timeout. It looks like the U.S.
right now, so they called the timeout. It's all right. Put your thinking cap on, Dwayne. You go over. You're the coach for the U.S. What are you going to tell the players to line up and how they're going to do it right now?
You put me on the spot. You're going to probably play a shot back to the defense. Somewhere's down the center ice area to if you can get a couple players in front to create a scrum. Like I say, you take a shot on net, any bounce can go in. I would have somebody from the defense, like a Hill or so, take a nice clean lifted shot, have it fall in front of the net somewhere, and hopefully one of your forwards is in there to be able to make a deflection or actually put it in straight in.
So from one team to the other, what's Canada going to do to defend against that?
I think they have to make an ice cube out of it. Have 4 players tight as can be and only have one guy roaming around. Just keep everybody out of the center of the goal area. Push them out, keep them out, and keep the puck away. That's pretty much it.
That would be the key right there. So they whistle them in. Now they're going to get themselves going for the official timeout. I see coaches in all sports take advantage of the timeouts where they take extra time to get it back in.
Yeah, 30 seconds is always a minute.
It's never enough.
It's never 30
Well,
seconds.
they should make it a minute anyway,
I
right?
know.
That would make sense if it was a minute.
It would make it. So here we go.
Here we go, and we are back right now. We've got about a minute and 45 seconds remaining in the third period. Canada throws it down. So that was a quick move because there's no icing on the play. They're shorthanded. So this is where the U.S. has to pick up some speed. Work their way back down. Now it's back behind the line as they're all chasing it and turning to go back down. Ibrahim had control. Looks. She goes straight up the ice all the way to the blue line. She comes back down. Over on the far right side with her is DeClaudio. They give it to DeClaudio. Now it goes against the hash marks on the right side. DeClaudio comes down. There's a minute left in the minor penalty. Canada defending tough. The U.S. pressing. DeClaudio having it. Waits back behind the net. Again, holding on to this one. I wonder if Sidney Crosby is one of her favorite players. She's from Pittsburgh. Back to Claudio, comes out of the corner, holding it, looks, passed it back around. Nice play, nice setup on there to Flaherty. She got the shot away, but it goes over on the far side wall, over to Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick centers a puck right in front that goes in and a score on a power play goal. Just a leisurely centering shot off of the boards over on the left side. As the U.S. come back and get within one.
As I pointed out, you just got to get the shot at the goal, and something could get deflected, and that one was deflected in. Went in underneath Gregory.
So
very good play by Kirkpatrick.
So they still have their goaltender out of the net right now.
Yeah, so we're now at 6-on-5.
So again, 6-on-5. The minor penalty is over. They scored a power play goal, and from the draw, Pickton gets it. Pickton throws it all the way over this time. And the left side. Coming inside after this one, trying to go after it. Tunasaw was in there. Wait, she couldn't get control. Now the cross pass all the way over on the far right side. Out of their own zone this time. Faraday gets control. Waits. Puck is underneath the sled. She's not sure where it is. Also coming inside to help out and trying to knock it loose was Sprong. Sprong stays with her. Pickton's in there as well. Scramble ensues. Pickton holds on to it. She's trying to get a stoppage. She rolled over and then got herself back up and balanced and get herself back in the play. We're down to about 15 seconds remaining in the third period. Kirkpatrick comes inside. Sharma stays with her. Goes off of the backboards, holding on to it. This is Adams that has control. Adams for Canada. She lost it. Waits. Adam gets bumped against the puck behind it at that time and holding on to it, chasing it back around. Little bit coming too late. And Canada pulls out an impressive 3-2 victory in Game 1 of a 3-game series here at the Richmond Olympic Oval on this Friday morning. What a game and what an impressive start to this 3-game series for both teams, Dwayne.
Yes, and a very good finish. The U.S. capitalizing on their final power play of the game there. The speed of the game was good. The third period nearing the halfway mark, you could see the players all getting a little bit more anxious as the time is wearing on. I think we had a good start to the tournament.
We did. We had a great game, and we should make mention the last goal for the U.S. was scored by number 8, Erica Mitchell, and Erica is from Chicago, home of Oprah Winfrey. We should make mention as well. Assists going to number 11, DeClaudio from Pittsburgh, as well as number 12. When I look at it, Kirkpatrick from
took the initial
Bemidji.
shot. Yep.
Remember we talked about Bemidji?
Yes,
Yeah, I figured
players do their handshake after every game.
They do. And
it's
I'm not
more
sure
of a fist pump than a handshake.
Yeah, well, that's understood.
Yep.
Will they have Will they have any presentations on the ice, or do you know? Speaking of fist pumps, I should make mention that the fist pump team Hockey Canada, I'm not sure what the U.S. did, but Hockey Canada just recently released a statement about the simple fact that the handshakes at the conclusion of the game will no longer be permitted. They want the players and the referees, and as well as player to player and player to officials, just strictly a fist pump with their gloves on because of the concern about the virus that's going around.
I can understand that. You want to keep everybody healthy as possible.
Well, indeed, very much so.
Especially at this time right now.
So the officials get the fist bumps from
they all bend
both
to the
teams.
knee and do a fist pump with every player as they come around.
Well, it's appropriate. I mean, you can't stand up and expect the players to,
Well,
stand
some
there
do
straight up.
stand.
Some. Are those the ones with attitudes?
No, not really. It's just a personal preference.
Okay. And, of course, if Dwayne's playing, Dwayne's going to say, bend down. I want to talk to you. Eye level.
Bend them back up.
Eye level. Eye to eye. I want to see what you're talking about. So I'm not sure. I think Canada's got a bit of a salute to the crowd right now. And, of course, good crowd in there. You can see Canada.
Yep. There they are. All the fans in the background cheering.
And, of course, they did that for the photographers. All our photographers getting good team shots right there.
Yes. Photographer row is the players' bench for stand-up hockey.
Wow, that's good. We've got two of them. We've got Laird Allen and Derek as well, so it's fun. Nice to have them out here. Good deal. All right, so that was the third period stats. Shots on goal. Final shots on goal, we should make mention, 31-14 for the U.S. And, of course, the U.S. come out shy by 1 goal. And, of course, they scored with 54 seconds or 56 seconds, correct, in the third period to tie the game up or put the game at 3-2 anyway. And that was a power play goal. So that was really, really interesting the way it played out.
Yeah, the end of the game was always tense when you have only 1 goaler. And any single play can take over, change the game real quick. They had a couple of chances to get in. Canada was able to clear the puck out a couple times and save their game. I'm sure that they'll come out tomorrow and fight again.
So before we sign off, what will the U.S. have to do to make changes moving forward into tomorrow's game?
I believe that they need to be in more for their shots. They're shooting from outside, and they're not getting They may have gotten shots, but I think the quality of shots is not there. I believe they need to get more inside shots, more inside the front end of the goal to put Gregory or whoever is in goal tomorrow on their edge a bit.
Well, it'll be interesting to see whether or not they change goaltenders tomorrow because their backup goaltender or their number 2, they've got 2 goaltenders. Jesse Gregory played in today for Canada. The other goaltender for Canada is Tracy Arnold from Saskatoon, and I heard it was -18 in Saskatoon the other day. So no wonder she wanted to come out to the West Coast where we've got the sunshine and 10 degrees above zero out here.
Yeah, that's true.
But we'll see whether or not they change goaltenders.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. And Tracy's also from Saskatoon, as you say. She's the first player on either national team, men's or women's, to play from Saskatoon.
Really?
Yes, so it's an accomplishment for herself. Love to see her out there to see if she can play tomorrow. But I'm sure Tara and Derek will figure out what they want to do, and we'll see that tomorrow afternoon. Sorry.
And of course, Saskatchewan, known for its hockey because of Gordie Howe. And other various players as well. I found out that Normie Ullman, and if you're an older person, you'll know who Normie Ullman is. Normie, I liked him when I was playing junior hockey, albeit years back. Normie Ullman actually from Saskatchewan as well.
Couple of old timers.
Very much. Thank you for saying that. Classifying me in the same sentence.
Just puts you in your place, I think.
Thanks, Dwayne. It wouldn't be the first time you've done that. Well, I hope everyone's enjoyed the game today. The call of the game coming to you from the Richmond Olympic Oval on Oval TV. Our pleasure to bring you the call for the game. Tomorrow game, as I made mention, will be a 2:45 game here from the Oval. So feel free to join us tomorrow for the call of the game. And again, Sunday, the game, again, will be the same time as today at 11 o'clock. So hope everyone's enjoyed the call of the game because it's been an absolute blast to bring it to you. So I hope everyone's enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching and tuning in. On behalf of Dwayne Evans, I'm Steve Erickson, also from Team Canada, our women's team. Thanks very much for tuning in. Until the next broadcast, if you don't play sport, at least be one.